Hey y'all, it's Linda. Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am going to be doing something that I saw on Betty Jean, Batty Bean's channel, where she did a palette bingo using just one specific brand at a time. And I really want to try that. So of course, with me, when I look at my collection, the brand that I seem to have the most palettes from is like, I don't know, this brand, I can't think of their name. It's freaking Melt. It's freaking Melt, okay? I have a lot of Melt palettes. Like, I have a lot of Melt palettes. So what she did in her video is she took just the collabs that Odin's Eye had done, and she did a palette bingo with those, and that was 6 palettes. And I was like, 6 palettes? That sounds pretty good. I have 9 Melt palettes. Is it 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 Melt palettes. 10 is way too many for me. I know that there are some amazing makeup artists out there who could create an eyeshadow look with 10 colors rather. I am not one of those people, okay? It's gonna be a push for me. I wanna do 6. I wanna stick to that. So the way that I am going to choose which palette is I'm going to assign each of these palettes a number to start, okay? Palette number 1 is going to be the beloved Gemini palette. I think you all know this is one of my favorites. So that will be number 1. I should have taken these all out of the boxes before I started talking to you. Palette number 2 is going to be Gemini 2. Palette number 3 will be the Rust palette. Palette number 4 will be the palette that is newest to me, and that is the Electrip palette. Number 5 will be the Vita palette. God, this is still so beautiful. Number 6, we have the Mary Jane palette, more neutral but cool tone, smoky vibes. Number 7 will be the 420 palette. Ugh, grungy dream. Drungy? Is drungy a word? Is that the word now for a grungy dream? This is so drungy. Stop trying to make drungy happen. Number 8, we have Smoke Sessions, which is one of their smaller palettes. I think there's only 2 that are this size, this and She's in Parties. I did not purchase She's in Parties. I probably won't because I'm not into like an incredibly purple vibe. Number 9 will be the Beetlejuice Recently Deceased palette. Oh my God. I want them to come out with a Halloween collection again. I really do, like a very themed Halloween collection. It's been a few years. And number 10 will also be from the Beetlejuice collection. This is the Waiting Room palette. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull up a random number generator on my phone, and I am going to take out 4 of these palettes right off the bat, because again, I only want to use 6 palettes, and then I'm going to use 1 color from each of those palettes to do my makeup today. Okay, I am using a random number generator. Not sure how much you can see it. I'm doing from 1 to 10. The first number is 2. So the first one to go, these are gonna be the ones to go, the Gemini 2. So this is a really pretty palette, by the way. It is grungy. Okay, no, it's not. It's super grungy, but at the same time, you've got a lot of those earth tones, a lot of those pinks, but this is the first one to go. The next one to go is number 1. So Gemini 1 is going, okay. This again is my this is grungy. This is super grungy. I love this color story. It is my favorite palette of all time. The next one to go is number 5, which is the Vita palette. So this came out with the Amor Eterno collection. That one is gonna go. And finally, the last one to go is going to be 9, which is the Recently Deceased palette. This is the very heavily purple and lime green leaning. And I just said I'm not gonna buy a purple palette. This is different, but this one is going to go. So the palettes that we are going to be using, oh, they are so different. I don't know how this is going to work. I'm nervous. So now I'm going to use the same random number generator to pick 1 color from each of these palettes. What's kind of cool, I'm just realizing, is that I think all of these palettes except for 1, which is the Waiting Room, are all still available to purchase. So if you like any of these, you can still purchase, whereas yeah, I think I got rid of 2 that were no longer available. So I'm a little nervous though, because I'm especially nervous about the Waiting Room, because that's the one that like has such a drastically different color story than any of these. But okay, so we are going to start with the Rust palette. And in this we have 10 shades. So I'm going to generate again from 1 to 10. I'm gonna use the same generator. And we got number 2. So the second shade in the palette. Okay, we're starting off with like a very neutral. It's called Antique. And I'm gonna try to do what Betty Jean does and swatch them on my hand so we can see this full color story we're gonna be working with. So it's hard to see, but it is just a regular kind of neutral peachy orange. I like that to start. Next is the Electrip palette. This again has 1 to 10. The only color I'm really hoping we don't get is this one because it's quite similar to the last color. So we generate and we have number 5, which is not that one. So the one we're using is called Far Out. So this is a shimmer that is kind of like a dirty bronzy color. It's got a much deeper tone. These two already don't, these are not colors I would normally put next to each other, but we're gonna go with this. Okay, Mary Jane. These are all very deep dark colors, but again, it's a 10 shade palette. So we are going number 6. So that is Santa Maria, which is a very deep silvery metallic shade. So it looks like we might be doing a super smoky eye. I hope we don't get all metallics. We shall see. All right, 420. Now we are almost definitely going to get a matte in this. God, what matches with, you know what, we'll see. We are going to generate and we get number 5, which is Dank, which is a leaning cool tone brown. It's kind of a lighter brown, so maybe that's not necessarily a bad thing. I do love this color though. Ooh. It's very, very creamy. Like, I know people talk a lot of crap about this palette, but this color especially is very, very creamy. This color story is turning out so deep. Now with Smoke Sessions, we do have 6 shimmers and 2 mattes, so 8 altogether. I'm nervous about this one because the chances of us getting like a deep shimmer. Number 3, what's number 3? Okay, interesting. We have Black Widow, which is very similar to that shade Far Out from the Electric palette. Actually, I want to swatch that one right under that shade from the Electric palette so we can see how similar they are. Okay, so it's kind of hard to see, but the one shade from, this is from Electric, okay? And the shade is very bronzy, whereas this one has like a touch of green. So as of right now, this is our color story. And then the one that's really probably going to mess up the whole thing, we've got another 10 shade palette, but this is like, I'm very nervous about this one because if it pulls one of those reds, which is, you know, if there's a 50% chance of it pulling a red, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. It did not pull a red. What did it pull? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Number 7, Tombstone. Okay, so we've got a dark gray matte. This is going to be a smoky oaky. I was not expecting this. I was expecting this to kind of be a colorful look, but that's not what we're getting here. We're getting like a dark smoky eye, and it's gonna, oh, okay, dang, 6 colors. The peach is what's really, the peach is what's really throwing me off there. Okay, let me think about this and I'll be right back. All right, I think I have the idea of exactly what I want to do, and in my head, it looks kind of cute, but let's see how it looks on the face. So I'm going to start my looks like I start all of them, and I'm using the Sigma eyeshadow base in Persuade. I haven't done a video like this in so long, and that's because they really do push me out of my comfort zone. I'm somebody who, like, I typically use like maybe 3 to 4 eyeshadows in a look max. So using 6, that's pressing it. So first things first, I'm dipping into the Rust palette and I'm taking Antique. Now this is a kind of intense peachy pink, but I want this to be a little more subtle. So I'm taking it on a fluffy brush and I'm holding the handle really far down to keep it light. And I'm gonna use this as the crease color to start. See, even like using it really far away, really light, tapping away the excess. Not sure how much you can see, but like, I mean, it is there. I do tend to forget how pretty this color is though. Like if you were to just kind of put this all over the lid as a neutral and just call it a day, that'd be really pretty. I need to put my hair back. All right, I'm going a little bit out of order here, but next things I'm going to take from the 420 palette Dank, which is that really creamy matte green leaning brown. And I'm gonna really kind of pack that on this outer lid. I'm going to be smoking it out, Piper. I'm just going to be smoking this out once I pack it on. This is such like a cool color though. It's kind of hard to tell, but it does have that green vibe to it. that's a great color, man. I don't use that nearly enough too. This is also like, okay, you know how when you open a palette, you have certain colors that you immediately gravitate towards and other ones that you might try on like a swatch, but you just don't dip into them often? Dank is definitely one of those colors for me that I don't dip into nearly often enough, and it's such a good color. Like it's just really cool. I am pulling that a little bit into the crease as well, just a little bit. I don't want to take it all the way across the crease. Well, maybe, do I? Maybe. I'm just going to use whatever's left on my brush to take that just deeper into the crease, just to kind of connect the colors. That's actually really cool. I kind of love that color. All right, next I'm going to start going into sparkle. So the first color I want to take, which is going to be the majority of the lid, is going to be from the Smoke Sessions palette, Black Widow. So this is a dirty gold, but it does lean slightly green. My hope here with that is that it's going to bring out the kind of green shades that are in Dank that we just put down. So I'm not going to do glitter glue this time. I just want to wet my brush. And that is going to go, oh, this is such a cool color. That's going to go on the outer, I don't know, not the outer third of the lid. It's going to be like half to almost the edge of the lid. So it's going to be almost 2/3 of the lid. Let's say it that way. That's really cool. I'm also gonna, I don't know, I want to blend this out. So I'm going to go back and forth with the brush that had Dank, no extra product. What a great freaking color. So far, so good. We are getting like a green kind of smoky eye from this. I really like this so far. I'm really worried about where we're going to get to be at the end, but we'll worry about that when we come to it. And then next from the Electric palette, we have Far Out, which again is that like, this one it leans more kind of a straight bronze rather than on the green side of things. But I'm going to use that same brush that is still slightly damp, and I'm going to take that, and that's going to go just to the inner part of my lid, very much just in that inner corner. And my hope is that this will brighten things up a bit. Yeah, it's a little hard to tell the difference, but like, no, you can see it in the shiftiness. It still kind of catches that green light because so much of this look is like heavily green based, but I can definitely see a difference there. Can you? Or it's more just like, they're the same vibes, which is nice, like the same undertones and all of that. Really happy with that. Oh, hold up. I don't know where it came from or when it came, but there is so much fallout. I'm going to try brushing it away super lightly. I'm barely even touching my face. Okay, I think I got it. But that's really pretty. Oh, see, here's where I get like, I wish I could just leave it here, but I'm not. We're gonna keep moving on. We have 2 more colors to use. This is where it could all go wrong. So the Waiting Room palette, the color I got was Tombstone, which is one of my favorite colors in the whole palette, actually. It's a really deep, very creamy, dark gray. Oh God, this is gonna go wrong, isn't it? I'm gonna take the Singe EO1. This is a cool brush for under the eyes because it is rounded here, but it's still flat, so it's nice and dense. And I'm gonna take Tombstone, tapping away all the extra each time. I just want it to really get into the bristles. And I'm going to run this under the eye pretty close to the lash line. I haven't even looked in the mirror yet. I'm doing this mirrorless, this part. I'm nervous to look in the mirror if it's going to ruin the whole thing. Okay, right now it just kind of looks smoky. It doesn't look too obtrusive, like too, ridiculous, right? I'm taking all the product off that was on and just using that to kind of really buff that in to the lower lash line there. Oh, see, actually that looks kind of cute. I've got one more color though. We could still ruin the whole thing. So the Melt Mary Jane palette, Santa Maria is the color, which is a very sparkly, deep gray silver. And I'm taking that on the same brush. And there are no rules for how lightly you can press something. So I'm gonna just press this gently over Tombstone just to get a little bit of that shimmer. But I don't want this to be super shimmery. I just want it to be there and exist. Lots of fallout there, I'm not gonna lie. What's very interesting is that I feel like you can barely see that shimmer, but like I really did pack it on. And there's definitely fallout, so it was there. There we go. You can see it a bit more now, but there was a significant amount of fallout from that palette especially. I want to take a clean blending brush and I just really want to buff that out a little bit because I feel like it's looking kind of harsh. There we go. That's a little more smoky. All right, I want to hop off camera and I want to do some eyeliner. I'm definitely going to have to touch up. I don't know how much you can see. There's just a lot of fallout, glitter, a ton of glitter. There's like dark stuff here. I want to definitely touch up, and it's all here too. Oof. I want to touch up my concealer, do my eyeliner and my mascara, and I'll be right back. All right, and here is the finished look. What I think is kind of crazy is that I genuinely was expecting a look like, for example, in the Electric palette. When you look at this, I see the bright reds and oranges and blues and greens, and we got a neutral, like, dusty gold. When I look at the smoke sessions, I see like these vibrant teals and everything, and we got like a dusty gold. It's so weird. I was expecting this look to be so ridiculously colorful, and I was so nervous that I was going to get like a dark brown and a pink and a green and a blue and a yellow, and I was going to have to figure out how to put that all together, and instead this look turned out dramatically Linda. I love this. The only thing I don't love, I'm not a huge fan on myself. I wanted to try it and I'm glad I did. I'm not a huge fan on myself of a really dark under eye. I feel like it kind of accentuates kind of, you know, creases and things like that, but I don't mind it in this case even. I think it does lend to that smoky look. I really like the gradient here of like the lighter kind of dusty gold into that greenish gold. I don't know. I really like this. And then with lips, I just went with a lip oil. I went with a little bit of liner and then this lip oil by Sigma. And this color is called Tint. It is just like a kind of cooler tone pink, but these feel so good. I love this. And I'm really happy I did this because it really did, again, these push me out of my comfort zone because I tend to look at a palette and I will use like 2 or 3 colors and then I'm on my merry way to force myself to go, okay, I have 6 colors. How do I make these work together? And then not only did I feel like I kind of made them work, I feel like I created a look that is very me. So it's not like I'm pretending to be somebody else. This is such a Linda look and I'm really pumped with this. Like, I'm going to do this again. I will do almost this exact same look again, I can guarantee you. Even down to like the peachy pink up here. Okay, I'm going to stop talking. I just know that I'm pumped, and I'm so pumped that I felt the need to take my Sigma switch just then and like slam it to the table to show you how pumped I am. But that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, if you would like to see more like this in the future, please let me know in the comments down below. I really liked doing this. Or you can show me you liked it by giving it a thumbs up. Show me you hated it by giving it a thumbs down. It's all engagement to me, baby. But that's it. I really do hope you enjoyed. You all can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Those are all GlitterFallout. And as always and forever, you are super freaking rock stars. I love you so much with my whole heart. I'll see you in the next video, I hope. Bye.